Bob Von Bargen, President Emeritus of the Armed Forces Heritage Museum, and your host for this series. This week, we will break from our usual serialization program to remember the fallen on Memorial Day. It is a national holiday that traces its lineage back to the Civil War. In this serial, you will learn about the extraordinary group of citizens who are remembering the implications of Memorial Day throughout the year. I am honored to introduce a most impressive and dedicated American veteran and patriot, Jerry SKORCH. He'll tell you all about it.
My name is Jerry SKORCH. I'm a United States Navy veteran, having served 1961 to 1964 as a radio telegrapher in the Tin Can Navy aboard a destroyer escort specializing in anti-submarine warfare. I experienced the Cuban Missile Blockade of October 1962. I'm an American Legionnaire, a lifetime member of the Vietnam Veterans of America, and the Vice Chairman and State Chaplain of New Jersey's Mission of Honor for CREMAINS of American Veterans. The purpose of New Jersey's Mission of Honor for CREMAINS of American Veterans is to locate, identify, and inter orphaned and abandoned CREMAINS. This is accomplished through the joint efforts of various veteran organizations to provide honor and respect to those who have served this country in uniform. I have been chaplain of the Vietnam Veterans Chapter 899 for 20 years. And at one of the New Jersey state meetings of the VVA, back in 2006, it was learned that a crematory in the state of Oregon had over 400 unclaimed cremains, with many veterans amongst that number. As hard as that was to believe, that could be true, and indeed it was. It was fact. Could the same thing be true in our state of New Jersey? Fran Carrasco of VVA 800 searches funeral homes in North Jersey and finds 3 definite unclaimed veteran remains. Roman Niedrievich of VVA 899, on the other hand, searches funeral homes in South Jersey and finds no veterans unclaimed. Well, we just have to bury them with military honors. What a disgrace that anyone who has worn our country's uniform was left on a shelf, unclaimed, for all of those years. Our hearts simply poured out with outrage and sympathy. Fran, Roman, and Herb Worthington, who was the president of the Vietnam Veterans of New Jersey, drafted bylaws to bury unclaimed cremains of veterans. But we learned soon afterwards that we couldn't touch them. It was against the law. Only family members were allowed to remove veteran cremains or any other cremains from a funeral home. Well, that enraged New Jersey State Assemblyman Jack Connors, who created legislation that took 3 full years to reach the desk of then Governor Corzine to sign on February 4th, 2009, during a blazing snowstorm, allowing funeral homes, not ordering them, allowing funeral homes to relinquish veteran cremains for the sole purpose of full military burial. Only after 1 year without anyone claiming their cremains. In the meantime, Fran and Roman filed for and received a 501c19 status as a nonprofit corporation, forming the New Jersey Mission of Honor for CREMAINS of American Veterans. That was in 2009. We agreed that we needed to bury these veterans, and we couldn't just stick them in the ground without someone saying a few words. Well, I'm a God-fearing man, and God gave me a big mouth. So I raised my hand and said I'd be glad to say a prayer and anything else we could learn about the veteran. That was 15 years ago. We had our first ceremony in May of 2009, burying the 3 that Fran Carrasco discovered in North Jersey. You see, North Jersey is densely populated, while South Jersey is quite sparse and much newer historically. This is the Garden State down here. There are almost 500,000 veterans that reside in New Jersey, but mostly in the northern half of the state. New Jersey Mission of Honor has its own color guard, rifle squad, bugler, and occasionally a bagpiper, all of whom volunteered via VVA 899 here in South Jersey. We are all uniformed generically, not to represent any one branch of service. I am sporting the summer uniform. In the 12 years we've been discovering and the veteran cremains and providing full military burial ceremonies, we have buried 302, none of which had any family members. And through our intense research team, 361 we reunited with family members that we did discover who had no idea where their veteran relative was located. They had no clue. We found people who said, "Thank you for finding the remains of our great-grandfather. We had no idea where his ashes were. We thought Aunt Lucy had them, but after she died, we found nothing in her house. So we were dumbfounded until the Mission of Honor stepped forth. Thank you." That needs to warm your heart. It certainly does ours. That totals 663 veteran remains whom we've actually handled in this state so far. We keep finding them. We have a county coordinator in each of the 21 counties in New Jersey who continually knock on funeral home doors seeking out any unclaimed veteran cremains. Of course, that requires special training and clearance based on the law that was signed in 2009. We're finding our veteran ashes in cardboard boxes, paper tubes, and some wooden boxes. No matter what, each one is transferred to a mahogany urn, which is laser engraved with the branch of service logo respective to the veteran's service. Each receives a full-size casket flag, 5 feet by 9.5 feet, and that is encased in a cherry flag case on which is placed a brass plate indicating whom we are honoring. That package costs about $300 for each of the 302 veterans we've buried. We manage only because of the generosity of donations from corporations and individuals throughout the state. Checks are made out to New Jersey Mission of Honor, Post Office Box 149, Lodi, New Jersey, 07644. We've discovered cremains that have sat on the shelf for more than 70 years after death with no one to claim them. That's wrong. We've even buried 2 Spanish-American War veterans. Yes, we have women too, some wives who have also served, and also 2 World War I Army nurses. Every single one of the 302 veteran cremains we buried has received his or her very own eulogy, written by myself, delivered by myself, from the information we discovered through various military organizations at the government level and regional. As I said, our research is second to none and is how we've found even distant family members to whom we reunite with their veteran relative. That's our biggest benefit, to see a family receive a member's ashes from long ago. It's a very moving reunion indeed. It makes it worthwhile. As of this date, we have 30 veteran cremains, never claimed by any family member, each awaiting his own ceremony and final resting place. But because of the coronavirus restrictions, we're waiting and praying for society to open up again so that we can have our usual 200 plus veterans and citizen patriots gather to witness the ceremonial burials once again. They can be quite emotional when an explanation is given as to whom we're burying that day. I get emotional delivering that information. I feel like as if it's someone I really know, and that makes it all this more purposeful and rewarding. May God help us respect and honor our veterans who have fought for the flag of these United States of America and her armed forces through war, conflict, and peacetime. Appropriately named, we are New Jersey's Mission of Honor for CREMAINS of American Veterans. And we will not stop searching for our brothers in arms until we can find no more. May God continue to bless this great nation. I thank you for listening.
Well, that's the story about the work of fantastic people engaged in a most noble task. Please remember to support their endeavor. This is a way you can help defray the cost of conducting these ceremonies. You can send your check to the New Jersey Mission of Honor, Post Office Box 149, Lodi, New Jersey. Our next serial will be in 8 parts. It will relate the experiences of Colonel Olaf Holm in his 1 year in Afghanistan as a helicopter pilot and air advisor to the Afghan military. Colonel Holm is the former commandant of the Air Advisor Academy at Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst. Colonel Holm is a master storyteller. He will relate a spellbinder that will include some magnificent aerial photography, a chilling combat experience coupled with an insight into Afghan culture. He will relate a helicopter rescue operation and a heartwarming tale of humanitarian activities. You don't want to miss this series. Tune in next week for the first installment. So we'll see you then.